In this video, we're going to discuss how Python finds what packages are installed. It's extremely useful for when you're doing Python development. There are chapters down in the description for each of the different parts of the video, so feel free to skip around as you want. So let's get straight to the tutorial. So how does Python find what packages are installed? Well, it creates a list of places to search, and that list is sys.path. So if we open up a terminal and run Python, in my case, I'm doing Python 3. We can look and see what sys.path is. So on my Ubuntu system, this is what it looks like. But how is this list created? It's created from three things: the initialization path, the Python path, and the installation dependent default path. And let's go over what these three things are. So what is the initialization path? Well, the initialization path is prepended to the list before anything else. And it's going to depend on how you run Python. If you run Python -m and then a module, it will add to the sys.path the current working directory, so wherever you currently are. If you run a script, it will use the scripts directory, so wherever the script is, and it will add that to the front of sys.path. And lastly, if you do Python-c and some code here, or if you just run Python and get into an interactive terminal, that is going to add an empty string to the sys.path, which basically means that it will add the current working directory. So that's the initialization path. So that's the first thing that is added to sys.path. The next thing is the Python path. So the Python path is an environment variable. It is a place where you can add a list of paths that you want it to go look for modules. On Windows, this list of paths is split by semicolons, and for Mac and Linux, it is split by colons. Note, a lot of times the Python path will be empty. If you try and just echo out the Python path, it will show nothing. And that's fine. It will still work if you add paths to the Python path. And number 3 is installation dependent default paths. So these are paths that are added by your Python's installation. So how do you add a package so Python can find it? Well, it's going to be different between Windows and Mac/Linux. So let's take a look at Windows first. So if we're on Windows and we want a temporary way of adding a package to sys.path, the way to do it is with the set command. So let's first print out what the Python path currently looks like. So we're going to run echo and then % and all caps Python path. You can see here it just returns % Python path %. That just means that there is no environment variable for Python path that is set. So let's actually do set the Python path. So we're going to use set and then Python path equals, and then I'm just going to set it to the current directory that I'm in. So here we are. And now if I print out Python path again, you can see that it's set to C users Brent. So let's open up Python to show that that was added to the path. So if we do Python 3 and we import sys and we do sys.path, you can see right here that users Brent was added to the front of the path. So that's how to do it temporarily. If you want to do it permanently, then the first thing you're going to do is search for environment variables in your search bar. It should pop up as one of the first things on the list, and it brings up this system properties. So once you're there, you can go to environment variables and click on that. If you can't find the Python path, then you can add that here. So you can basically go new, and then you can put in Python path and then you can put the value that you want here. So I'm going to put C users Brent. And if you click OK, it's going to save it down here, and then you will always have that as part of your path. So I'm going to save it, click OK. And if we open up a new command prompt to make it bigger so that you can see it, and we echo the Python path, so here we are, we will see that C users Brent is there now. So that's how to set it for Windows. So how do we add a package so that Python can find it on Mac and Linux? It's going to be similar to what it was done on Windows. What we're going to do is add it to the Python path. So let's see what the Python path is set on Linux right now. So we're going to echo out the Python path. As you can see here, it's empty right now. And so, like, let's say we go into Python 3, import sys.path. Here's what the path currently looks like. So let's get out of here. So let's add to the Python path. So we're going to use the export command to add to the Python path. So we're going to run export Python path equals, and then I'm going to add /home/brwilliams and hit enter. So if we run echo Python path, you can see that it's set to /home/brwilliams. And so if we run Python again and we import sys and we print out sys.path, you can see that right here home/brwilliams was added to our path. Therefore, any packages that are in /home/brwilliams are going to be found now. So let's say you want to permanently add something so that you can always have it no matter if you close your terminal or not. So let's start with a new terminal just to show that we don't have the Python path already set. So if we run echo $Python path, you can see that it's not set. If we want to set it permanently, what we can do is we can update our .bashrc file. So I'm going to open that up with Vim. You can open up with whatever text editor you want. This is just easier for me because I can stay in the terminal. Vim.bashrc. And this file should be in your home directory. So if I open that up and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to edit it, and I am going to add that same export command that we did previously. So it's going to be export Python path equals and /home/brwilliams. And then escape and save it. So now that we've done that, you can see here, even if we echo the Python path, it's still going to show nothing because this will only affect new terminals. So we're going to open up a new terminal again, and I'll open up Ubuntu and make it big. And then we're going to echo $Python path. And you can see here that it has /home/brwilliams. And if we go into Python 3 and we import sys and print out sys.path, you can see here that /home/brwilliams was added to the front of it. So that's how we get a module to, or a package to always be there in Mac and Linux. And that's it. So thank you for watching. If you got any value out of this video, please consider hitting the like button. Or if you want to see more like this, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or any topics you want me to make videos on, please feel free to put them down in the comments. I try and read every single comment. Thank you, and I'll see you around.